Welcome to this short video on injection attacks and prevention strategies. In this video, we look at Introduction to injection attacks. We look at understanding SQL injection. We look at defending against SQL injection. We also consider other types of injection attacks. We look at the impact of injection attacks and finally we look at prevention and mitigation strategies. Let's get started. What is SQL injection? SQL injection is an attack technique where malicious SQL queries are injected into an application's input fields. These queries manipulate the back-end database, allowing attackers to bypass authentication, to access sensitive data, or modify database contents. How SQL injection works. The typical steps of an SQL injection attack include 1. Identifying vulnerable inputs. Attackers find input fields that interact with the database, such as login forms and search boxes. 2. Crafting malicious queries. Example is injecting this query into a login form. This query tricks the database into returning all users, instead of verifying credentials. 3. Bypassing security mechanisms. Attackers use techniques like escaping characters, comments or subqueries to bypass application security. 4. Executing malicious commands. The application processes the crafted SQL query, granting unauthorized access. 5. Exploiting database vulnerabilities. In advanced attacks, SQL injection can execute system commands or compromise the entire infrastructure. Let's look at the impact of SQL injection attacks. 1. Data breaches. Exposed data may include user credentials, payment details, medical records, and intellectual property. 2. Data manipulation. With this, attackers can alter, delete, or corrupt critical data within a database. For example, a cybercriminal could change bank account numbers in a financial system to redirect payments. 3. System control. Advanced SQL injection techniques can allow attackers to execute system commands, potentially gaining full control over the server. Exploiting administrative privileges, which may lead to installation of malware, ransomware, spyware, and keyloggers. 4. Reputation damage. A data breach can result in loss of customer trust. Users may stop using the service. Negative media coverage, leading to brand damage. Legal and regulatory scrutiny, forcing organizations to disclose the breach publicly. 5. Financial losses. Organizations suffer significant financial damage due to regulatory fines, for example, GDPR and CCPA penalties. Legal expenses from lawsuits filed by users. Incident response costs, including security investigations and forensic analysis. Types of SQL injection attacks. 1. Union-based SQL injection. That combines query results to extract sensitive data. 2. Error-based SQL injection. That exploits database error messages to gain insights. 3. Blind SQL injection. This uses logical conditions or delays, time-based, to infer data. 4. Second-order SQL injection. An injected input that is stored and executed later. 5. Cookie and header SQL injection. An SQL code that is inserted into cookies or HTTP headers. Defending against SQL injection. 1. Use prepared statements and parameterized queries. 2. Employ stored procedures, by defining SQL logic within the database. 3. Validate and sanitize inputs by rejecting invalid characters. 4. Escape special characters by using escaping libraries for safe queries. 5. Restrict database privileges by minimizing user permissions. 6. Implement web application firewalls, WAF, that detect and block injection patterns. Other types of injection attacks. 1. Command injection. This is when attackers execute system commands through vulnerable applications. To deletes files, installs malware, or compromises the system. Prevention. Use APIs instead of shell commands. Sanitize input, and enforce sandboxing. 2. Cross-site scripting, XSS. A process of injecting malicious scripts into web pages. To steal user data, and hijack sessions. Prevention. Encode special characters, and enforce content security policy, CSP. 3. LDAP injection. An act of manipulating LDAP queries and authentication systems, to grant unauthorized access. Prevention. Use parameterized LDAP queries, and enforce strict validation. 4. XML injection. An act of injecting malicious XML into web services. For unauthorized privilege escalation. Prevention. Validate XML inputs, and disable external entity processing, XXE. 5. NoSQL injection. An act of exploiting NoSQL databases like MongoDB to bypasses authentication. Prevention. Use parameterized queries, and validate JSON input. Impact of injection attacks. 1. Data theft. Attackers exploit SQL injection vulnerabilities to extract sensitive data from databases. Examples of stolen data includes credit card details such as card numbers, CVVs, and expiration dates. Personal identifiable information, PII, such as names, addresses, phone numbers, and SSNs. Login credentials such as usernames, and hashed or plaintext passwords. 2. Data loss. Attackers can modify, corrupt, or delete entire databases, resulting in permanent loss of critical information. Impact includes loss of customer records, transaction history, or medical records. Disruption of business operations. Affecting supply chains and financial reporting. 3. Service disruption. Denial of service DOS. Attackers use SQL injection to send malicious queries that overload the database, leading to system crashes or severe performance degradation. Impact includes slow or unresponsive websites. Complete downtime for business-critical applications. Loss of customer transactions and potential revenue. 4. Privilege escalation. Attackers exploit SQL injection vulnerabilities to gain administrative privileges, potentially taking full control of the system. Impact includes the fact that hackers can create new admin accounts and modify access controls. They can escalate privileges from a normal user to a superuser, root or admin. In some cases, they can execute operating system level commands, gaining full control of the infrastructure. 5. Reputational and financial damage. The fallout from SQL injection attacks can lead to severe legal, regulatory, and financial consequences, such as regulatory fines. For example, GDPR, Europe, fines up to €20 million or 4% of annual revenue. HIPAA, USA, healthcare, fines up to $1.5 million per violation for exposing medical data. PCI DSS, payment industry, non-compliance leads to fines up to $500,000 per incident. Business impact includes loss of customer trust. Customers avoid businesses with past breaches. Stock price drop. Publicly traded companies experience significant valuation losses post-breach. Operational costs. Breach responses, forensic investigations, and lawsuits can cost millions. Prevention and mitigation strategies. 1. Input validation and sanitization. Whitelist expected formats, use regular expressions. 2. Secure coding practices. Avoid dynamic SQL, use prepared statements. 3. Web application firewalls, WAF. Detect and block suspicious queries. 4. Regular security audits. Use tools like a WASP Zap for scanning vulnerabilities. 5. Developer education. Train developers in secure coding. 6. AI-based threat detection. Use machine learning to monitor suspicious activity. For recap, in this video, we learn injection attacks occur when user input is improperly validated, allowing attackers to inject malicious code. We learn SQL injection (SQL) is one of the most damaging attacks, enabling unauthorized access to databases. We learn about other dangerous injection attacks include command injection, XSS, LDAP injection, XML injection, and NoSQL injection. We learn about the effective defenses, which includes prepared statements and parameterized queries, strict input validation and sanitization, web application firewalls, WAF, database privilege restrictions, regular security audits and penetration testing. Finally, in this video we learn that organizations must adopt secure coding practices and educate developers to prevent these threats. In conclusion, injection attacks, especially SQL injection, remain one of the most severe cybersecurity threats. Other types like command injection, XSS, LDAP injection, XML injection, and NoSQL injection also pose significant risks. By implementing prepared statements, strict input validation, and web application firewalls, organizations can protect their applications from these threats. Regular security audits and developer training are crucial to maintaining a secure application environment. Please click the link in the description to access this lesson on Motiva Logic Academy Learning Management System, where you'll find a quiz for every lesson, hands-on lab and projects to test and strengthen your understanding. While you're there, explore the full catalog of advanced hands-on courses and downloadable resources designed to help you move from theory to real-world expertise faster. Be sure to like, subscribe, share and visit the link in the description. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the future lessons. Thank you for watching.